So because I know these questions may come, I'm gonna just try to answer them as much as possible. Answer what I think will be the top question is like, where was your daughter while you were doing all this? My daughter was with me. Luckily, I had some kind professors that allowed me to bring my daughter to school with me, like to the classes. And trust me, classes were not short at all, they were long, but I have a good baby. She never cried or anything of that nature. So I was good. As long as she had her iPad and her chicken nuggets and french fries, we can have a effective school, class, lecture section, whatever. Um, Work. I was a salaried worker, so I worked 40 hours a week. Majority of my hours, well, at least half of it, was completed by the time Monday came. I did by Monday, 20 hours was done. So then it just consisted of trying to figure out where in my schedule can I fit the other 20, which sometimes I would do like 5 hours, 7 hours, whatever the case may be. I did work a remote job, and that remote job was remoting, okay? Because I was definitely remoting, okay? I was definitely remoting on the remote job, okay? Because being in Orlando and in Miami, sometimes I would, between a shift, I would have to fly to Orlando, finish the rest of my shift, take care of my daughter, this, that, whatever, and that third. So I had to either fly, majority fly. Shout out to Spirit, because Spirit, I don't care what they say about you, Spirit. Them 30-minute flights to and from Orlando will always be clutch for me. I would never speak down on Spirit, because within 2 years of the 2 years that I was down south, of the 2 years, I probably experienced two canceled flights. I may be lying, but they, nope, because I would say confirmed two canceled flights, and everything else was delayed. I could do a delay, but I do need to make it back to my class or whatever. So majority of it was that's how I was commuting, basically, my Spirit flights, because the driving, with the lack of sleep that you get in nursing school and the working that I had to do and to take care of my daughter, there was no way that that was possible to drive 3.5, 4 hours. Like, it wouldn't have been healthy for me, my daughter. It wouldn't have been healthy for nobody. So I did a lot of flying back and forth, racked up on them points, okay? And I didn't need much but my work computer. So that what consisted of that. It got a little more difficult once my mom went back to work after my grandmother passed, because sometimes she couldn't watch her when I had an exam. So then I would have to carve out time to fly to Orlando, then drive to Jacksonville to get the assistance that I needed at the time, for whatever duration of time that I needed it for, to make sure that I can make it back to Miami. And just to put things in perspective, Jacksonville was like 2 hours, depending on traffic, 2.5 hours from Orlando. Orlando is 3.5, 4 hours from Miami. So I was up and down Florida. Okay, up and down Florida, trying to make sure that I got the proper care for my daughter. Another thing, nobody could do my daughter's hair because her hair was so short. So sometimes I would have to like go back to Orlando to do her hair because it's looking crazy. And I ain't about to have my kid out here looking crazy. So those things like made the journey like more taxing or whatever. But again, super thankful for my support system, my family through and through, the realists, okay, the realists, because they didn't have to, but they did. And because of that support, I was able to maneuver in the way that I could maneuver, to not only be the best mom that I could be, but also try be the best student I could be. in the situation that, in the predicament that I was in, so to say. And nothing stopped. My kid was still making it to daycare. Nothing stopped. She was still getting picked up. You know, when she gets sick, that's whatever. You know, I would have to come up here, do what I have to do, fly back down, or take her down. She'd be with me. Like, it was a whole lot of that going on, but it got done. To kind of explain my nursing school schedule, classes were like either 7 or 8 a.m. I don't necessarily remember. I feel like it was 8, but I was up early. Like 5 o'clock was the time to be up and beat Miami traffic and make it to class. I would get to class be about, shoot, 3-4 hours long. You sitting in class, lectures, etc., etc. You're done with class, you gotta go study. You're done with class, you gotta go to work. So it was very much no sleep, but I was equipped because I was a new mom. And if anybody knows anything about being a new mom, you don't get no sleep. So I had already developed a pattern of not getting sleep before school. So this was the best situation for me because nursing school, you don't get no sleep at all. At all. Especially if you're working. And I was working 40 hours because I could not afford to not work because bills are bills and daycare is daycare. Daycare is $310 a week, okay? And somebody gotta pay it. And that's my kid, so I got to. So that was basically the bulk of it. Like, I'm so thankful for the professors that allowed me and did not turn me away. Because there was one professor that had a concern, but when Imani got to the class, Imani literally fell asleep in there and she completely forgot she was even in there. But they didn't have to, but they did, and I'm so grateful that they just saw that I was trying and I didn't live there. That was my intro. I live in Orlando, and they were always trying to figure out how was I managing doing everything back and forth, and I would be like, look, I'm doing what I have to do, and that's point blank period. I could pull up all my flight confirmations of going back and forth week and week and week and week and week to make sure that I can do what I need to do as a mother as well as what I need to do as a nursing student. And I will say that mom guilt did kill me a lot during nursing school because I went from being like the mom that did all the activities and like I was so into my child, like from the newborn to the her early toddler years. Like I was so much of a Miss Make everything from scratch. We're celebrating on holidays, photo shoots, and all that stuff. And I just felt like I did all those things while I was in school as well. I did all of those things. But I just felt like it was all rushed. Like I didn't get I didn't get the proper time to bask in that moment because I had to study. So it was like rush and do this, or oh, I got 30 minutes, I got an hour, let me take her to go do this, let me take her to go do that. And I struggled with that a lot. But I didn't have time to really struggle because baby girl, you got an exam and you got to study. So you know, I did what I could do, but I always felt like I could be doing more, so to say. And she just my daughter, to be honest, the mom guilt thing, it was all mental because my daughter was just happy to be with her mom. She was just happy to be with her mom, and I'm just like freaking out trying to make sure that she has these memories, this picture, that picture. And sometimes like she'll just be like, I just want to be with mom, I just want to go to mommy's house, I just want to go to mommy's house. And she will be at mommy's house, and it doesn't matter if we're just sitting there and I'm just studying. As long as she's with her mom, she's fine. But I did have a lot of mom guilt because it went from me being overbearing mom to, okay, mommy only has 30 minutes, mommy only has an hour, 2 hours, let's go to the beach or let's go to the pumpkin patch and stuff like that. Like I just felt like I couldn't spend a lot of time doing a lot of stuff because I had to go study.